Perceptional games are pretty fun. We've got aliens, Care Bears, famous people, rings, comedy, magical closets. What more could you want? So stick around. We'll start with the aliens. Welcome, beautiful ones. My name is Marlo Mackenzie. This is 42 Days of Joy, the series. That's part of Joy Dialogues. So if you are working right now to jump into the next version of yourself, I have these perceptional games that I have used myself that are really useful, really helpful. They're also great for if you're just feeling kind of down or low on a certain day and you need to spark something inside of yourself and reconnect with that magic. So I'm going to share those with you. And I'm so excited because these are things that have really worked well for me. Let's start with aliens. And that is my longest running perceptional shift game. The game is imagine you are a visitor to this planet. And this is incredible the way it changes your day. So if you wake up and you decide, I would like to shift my perception today. The point of doing that is because you are working to step into a new you. And when you step back during your day and you think, okay, today, all day, I'm going to pretend that I'm an alien visitor to this planet, it really does change your day. So, some of the things that I can think of is if something might normally upset you as a human, well, it's more something you take in stride when you are a visitor. It's just like when you're a tourist to a place. So that's another angle on it, which some of you might find a little bit easier. You could pretend that you're a tourist visiting your town, and that's something I do as well, because you want to reconnect with the magic of the place that you live, where sometimes you can just get in a rut and not see things for how beautiful they are. It just makes you step back and you relax, you ease out. Today I'm a visitor. It gives you perspective. And maybe you could go a little bit further. I'm a visitor and I've been tasked to work with the people of this planet to bring my unique skills and my unique gifts and offer them to be of service to the people here. So that's taking the idea a little bit further and planting a connection here on this planet. So on the one hand, you can remain in this place of observation, which is a very powerful place to be, and yet at the same time feel a deep connection because you have been asked to be here and to serve, to help in the way that you know how with your skills. And that can be in many, many different ways, whatever calls you and is lighting you up and creating passion inside of you. So this game is just really incredible. And the tourist thing is so fun. Let's pretend I'm visiting my city and you go do all the tourist things and get the ice cream at the ice cream place and wait in line. And it doesn't bother you because you're a tourist and you just, time changes. So that's something that's also really great when you play these perceptional shift games. What happens to time is time becomes more malleable. You don't feel so rushed to maybe achieve or so rushed to accomplish or whatever it is. When we're tourists, we are more relaxed because we don't think about our worries that we might have. And moving into that energy is very powerful. So let's talk about superheroes. That's another thing you can do. I love to have days where I am like, okay, today, and one of my favorite things is today I'm the superhero of love. And that just means that I radiate love and I beam love. I imagine Care Bears. One Care Bear that has a heart, and the Care Bear beams love. So I imagine I'm that, like maybe I'm imagining I'm like a superhero Care Bear. My superpower is love, and that day I just go around and I'm beaming at people, smiling, looking to see if I can compliment them. I'll actually think blessings to you. May the universe, may God, may the trees, may earth, may Gaia, may the oneness that we are bless you. So I'm basically sending well wishes, or I'll actually think in my mind, I'm sending you good mojo. I'm just, hey, good mojo for you, you know? And people, I tell you, people feel it. It's like we are so connected. If you ever doubt that we're connected as people, like little fungi, like the fungi in the earth, we're exactly like that. It is so true. Just test it out and see what happens. I do try to just like feel this connection to love, to keep this feeling that we are all interconnected and that my thoughts really matter, and keep that in mind. And this game is like very, very powerful, and it will actually push you to next levels. Another thing that I really like to do is and this is also just like steeped in my brain now, it's just a part of me, but these are things that I started years ago as games that have just become permanently installed in my brain. Everyone that I meet, I see as a teacher for me, and I see myself as a teacher for them. This doesn't mean I lecture people or I like thinking I'm like have to teach someone in teacher mode, but what I'm saying is that I see that there is a gift of exchange that is going to happen between us, and there's a lesson, and this is a very special thing. And even if the lesson is painful, or it's like you might just think it's just somebody being rude to you, I will look for the lesson. Why does their rudeness trigger me? And what could I look inside of myself and find that I remove that trigger? And over the years, I just get better and better and better. Definitely my feathers get ruffled. There are things that throw me off. And I this is a lifelong journey. But having this view of everyone is very powerful. It's very powerful. And also I think people can feel it. And I think that's why so many people around me are just so kind generally, and people will open up to me on buses, on like in the street, in a museum, at parties. Just people feel that I'm holding our interaction as special, and I'm really there. I'm listening. I'm there for the lesson. I'm there for the learning. And I feel like a lot of exchanges happen this way that maybe wouldn't have been if I hadn't had this running so long in my mind. Oh, another thing that I do a lot over the years is I'll create an object of power. And this has changed over the years what my object of power would be. But the idea is that I do a meditation and I imbue this object with the power that I put into it in the meditation. And then when I touch the object, it's like in a video game. You're suddenly like powered up, I think. You have to just be playful in the way you approach it. So one of the last things that I did recently was on my birthday, I bought myself a ring, and I was entering a new phase in life where I was going to be doing a lot of public speaking. So that's not something I have done that much. So I just did a meditation over the ring, and I was like, you know, when I touch this ring, that means I will relax and I will feel centered in myself, and I will just feel I'm here to serve. Let the words that the universe wants to be said come through me. Let me be an open channel for love and for positivity and for connection. You could create a power object for whatever you're facing, the situations that you're in, the challenges that you have, and just be like super creative. The power objects could be anything. Jewelry is really handy for some of us, but it could be a favorite sweater, or it could be your lucky backpack, or your lucky shoes, or a notebook, or a pen, or your glasses. It could be anything. And that's a very powerful game to play. When I was a teenager, what I had decided was I would make Nicole Kidman my sister. She was my imaginary sister. I really liked Nicole Kidman's acting, and also there was just something about her. I felt like she was really special. And this was way, way back before she became this giant award-winning producer extraordinaire Nicole Kidman that she is now. She was more starting out. Part of me actually knew this was a helpful tactic. I don't know that I would have had the courage to pursue filmmaking if I hadn't had this imaginary sister who I could talk to, who was in Hollywood, and she was up and coming and just amazing, and somehow the glow of her made me feel like I could try things too. And if she was having all of this courage to perform in these like really intense roles, and I had read that she was very shy, that I could have the courage to do the things that I wanted to try out. It was a great technique, and I definitely recommend creating a brother or sister or friend that you can talk to when there's no one else to talk to. Jumping off the Nicole Kidman thing, you could create a sister who isn't human, a sister who is a cat sister, or a plant sister, or an animal sister. I also did that with my aloe plant. I just decided one day to call my aloe plant Maud. Yeah, I would talk to Maud. I talked to Maud a lot during that time. I would just sit there near the window and do my homework and just be like, hey Maud, how's it going? Or, oh Maud, this is so hard, or whatever it was. I think that was a really kind of nice thing. It seemed to like help Maud as well. I took really good care of her, and man, she became a fat, juicy aloe. Another thing that I've done is, if there's a character I particularly like, I might spend a day pretending I'm that character just to see what qualities might come up in me. That was more something I did as a child as well. But I would pretend that I was MacGyver because I just wanted to get inside of the curiosity that MacGyver represents, and the intelligence, and also Sherlock Holmes. What would it be like to be someone who perceives so much, just observes and can see everything? So I'd spend a day observing and seeing what I could catch, like go into a new environment and then come home and write down what I saw, and then go back and see, did I get the curtain color right? Did I get the chairs right? Did I get the people working there? And just feel these qualities that you like, just like activate them inside of you. It's like turning on parts of you that are there, but they need a switch, and they need constant attention. They need watering. So another big one for me is comedy, and I don't pretend that I'm comedian, but I just have what I would call a comedy engine that I pretend that I run in my mind. Install the comedy engine, and here's an example. I had my backpack near my chair at work, and I just roll back to like head out to the kitchen, and the backpack got caught on the chair wheel, and so yanked the strap out like this, basically making making like a tripwire for me. And so there's this tripwire, and I get up and I walk and I like trip over my backpack with my colleagues there. And I was just enjoying laughing at myself when I could have been like mortified, you know, oh my God, how what a klutz. How did I even do that? I'm so embarrassing. But instead it became this opportunity for me to just laugh, and that was fine. Another thing that I have done sometimes is when I'm imagining that future version of myself, the next me with my new goals and my new life and maybe my new apartment, whatever it is I'm working on, I'll imagine it like I love C.S. Lewis and the Chronicles of Narnia. So I'll imagine that I'm stepping into a magical wardrobe, and when I'm through that wardrobe, I become like a new person, influenced by this whole new environment. So it's maybe a bit easier for me to step into those goals, because if I walk through a magical closet into Narnia, it's more possible somehow. And also, I'm simultaneously imagining myself as the writer of my life, this game engine we're in, or whatever you want to call it, in collaboration with our higher self, in collaboration with God, in collaboration with the oneness. You know, there is a sense I think we've all had where we will be making plans and then something else will kind of redirect those plans. And so that's just a part of it. It's an interactive writing process. We are a collaborative writing crew here. And it's a wonderful thing to do and to practice regularly. That's just one way to create your future self. And another one that's something that is great too, it's definitely like makes me feel good. You can just encode the things you eat, or encode the water you drink, or you know, anything that you're ingesting in your body. You can just pretend it's a magical object that's like giving you preventative medicine and healing powers to like that will unlock in your body and just create more healing. And so if you're really sick and you're just like taking a vitamin, just putting some essence in the vitamin, thought like this is a super healing vitamin rather than just eating the vitamin. There's something about it lending your consciousness to something. Some people I know, they'll put symbols on their water. I haven't tried that yet, but I think it's a cool idea. It's like the concept of praying before a meal. When you eat a meal in gratitude, there is a power to it. So those are the perceptual games that I've mainly played, and these are all a part of making your life art. Maybe one of these interests you. Try one out, see what you think, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure, and I will see you next time.